Welcome back to the Philly Escape Podcast. It is episode 18. If you're counting, I need Brits to post the last one. But we're back and we're talking
coming.
about a win this time. So we're a little happier this time compared to the last pod. We're one man down, but Flay, we want you back. If you're out there somewhere, please come back to us. He's
Plays
MIA
MIA.
right now. If you
If you've
find
seen
him,
him, let him know. Let him know that we're
call
looking for him.
Call the Philly Escape Pod hotline. We'll be here. We're waiting for him. But we're just back to Discord conversations with the Philly podcast crew. But we're talking about a win, like I said. We might touch on a little bit of Ben Simmons. We were just talking a little bit before the pod. I think he might be reporting. Smart move on his end, maybe. I mean, he wants his millions, right?
The
But
thing is,
we
we're saying he might report, but then just pretend to have an injury so that he doesn't have to actually play with us.
doesn't actually have to play.
Make
Just
an
gets his
injury.
money.
This guy's the
Yeah,
worst, but
there's probably a
Let's talk-
bunch
Back
of
to-
loopholes.
we'll get into
in
that later.
How he can get his money. But let's get into the Eagles first, right? So let's talk a little bit of the Birds. And question is this an encouraging win or a discouraging win? And before even Jackson, I let him respond to this because I don't really want him to respond to this. I want to treat this game like a loss and you take out the positives. I'm not going to be looking at this as like, okay, great win, guys. We're a good football team, and let's look at the bad. Let's go back and look at the tape and fix the things that we did wrong. I look at this as a loss, and then we take some positives from this because wait, we won by 3. Okay, if this is a loss, it's a totally different vibe right now. That's the way you got to treat it. I mean, remember overreaction Monday happens all the time after a win and a loss. After we won against the Falcons, we were going to the Super Bowl, and Jackson projected 13-4. So
13
it's
it's still possible.
it's a 3-point difference from a different vibe conversation, and us all being pissed off right now. Even though there was a W on the board at the end of the day, it didn't take away the first 3 quarters of me going nuts at the TV. So, Brits, I'll let you go next because I feel like you can back me up on this more than Jackson's about to attack me right now. But I turn to you.
all right.
I'm in your hands now.
All right. So, absolute roller coaster of emotions went down on Sunday. I think
Boring first half.
I think the whole first half was just. I think multiple times I said to myself, I don't even want to watch this game anymore because this is just horrible football. Like both teams are playing horrible, honestly, and Eagles just happen to be playing worse. And I think I also said sell the team, sell the players, sell the whole organization.
You guys both said. I just want to quote you. You guys both put in our podcast group chat. Fire the coach. This
Yeah.
is the worst team to ever play football in the history of the NFL.
Yes.
Didn't say that.
Yep.
but-
I did say that.
Britt said that. Britt said that. Okay.
And then
say-
and then
I
we
did
scored
say
it, and then we
coach.
scored a touchdown. And I was like, okay, we're going to the Super Bowl. No, not really that far. But I was, I got lured back into the game, obviously intently watched as we made the comeback. I mean, I never stopped watching the game, but got more involved in it. I mean, the team looks like we can't play good offense and good defense at the same time. Because every
Yeah.
single game this year has been like one or the other.
To put it simply, yeah.
And also the play calling is atrocious. Literally, it might be the worst play calling I've ever seen on a Philly team or an Eagles team. And I
At the
thought
same
saying
time, though,
something
you have
after
to say-
last year.
You have to say, for some reason, at the end of games, our play calling is great. It's just like we
It
start
looks
out game, first 3 quarters, it stinks. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it looks like we
Well,
throw
in the
out the
Cowboys
playbook
game-
and
in
then
the
we
Cowboys
just
game, in the
let
49ers
Jalen Hurts
game-
run the ball.
Jackson, it looked like more of just throwing away what didn't work earlier in the day, as opposed to like mastermind scheming.
But
I
yeah,
don't-
but
I don't know.
to
Yeah.
your guys' point, for some reason, we throw it away at the end of the game, and then the next week we come right back to it, which doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Like I said, we just
Yeah.
pick it up out of the garbage and we just
With
start using it
Sirianni,
again.
With Sirianni, I just feel like he's avoiding the things that are working and he's going to the things that we know have not worked, even within the same game. So I'll let you go in a second here, Jackson, but I just feel like it comes down to execution. I just looking at this, 13 carries for the day, 11 for Sanders, 2 for Gainwell. One, you can't have that to begin with. You can't have 11 carries to Sanders to begin with. Take away 2 or 3 there at the end just because those are runs just to run down the clock. So you're looking at about 9 or 10 meaningful carries by running backs in this entire game. Plus just I'm gonna get into the screenplays. That's gonna be a whole segment because I
Yeah.
did a deep
I have
dive.
a
I
lot to
went back
talk
and
about
watched.
with those kind of
I,
plays and the run
I
game.
yeah, I went back and watched the entire game just to look for every single screenplay and watch how it played out. Um, but as far as what was bad, high level for the screens, back to back screens, bad times as far as the timing in the game and then also the position on the field,
Almost
and then
zero
also
blocking on those plays.
also exactly, and then bad play design that didn't really allow for the best guys to block. In some cases, you had your lineman kick out, but really it was a lot of receiver one-on-one battles that you just weren't going to win. And like I said, in the game, that fourth or fifth screen call, you're calling that when you knew that the previous like three didn't work. So that's just a high level. But end of the day, like I I think this is an average team by talent. I think Sirianni and the coaching is holding this team back a lot, just by the play design, the play calling,
I'd agree with
just
that.
just all the above. I think it's an average team. I mean, if you can still beat, a high-powered offense in the Falcons, if you could still beat Sam Darnold, on one of his worst days, but you come out with the win at the end of the day, and you're winning in the trenches, that's your saving grace in your O line and your D line. You know, um,
Yeah,
and you
Javon
have talent
Hargrave
on
just
this team.
continues to go off. He's going having a great
It's
year.
it's just, I mean, probably the best, if not second best, defensive tackle in the league right now. And you have guys like that.
Up there.
Yet you have a coach that's slowing these plays down, and it feels like it's either penalties, it's either just the play calling itself, not getting anything moving, um, and it's either you hit the big play, or you just run the ball for 1 yard. Even the running scheming when we do actually run the ball 2% of the time. It's just not the right design. But I'll let Jackson jump in here. Just I think it's the coach holding them back.
I mean, I think we can't sit here and say that like the coaching's been perfect. I do think that we have to, keep in mind that it's like he's a rookie head coach, rookie like offensive coordinator, right? It's just like I don't
Yeah.
know. I think they're new to their job. It's a new coaching staff. They need to like gel. We need to be patient. I think clearly the screens aren't working. It's abysmal. And it's frankly ridiculous to think that you can just keep throwing screens over and over again when they're not working ever. It's like I agree. You gotta throw the ball downfield at least. You gotta run the ball more. I think part of the reason we're not running the ball is probably because Jalen Hurts runs it so much. But like I don't know, the offense is generally just I think developed weird. I don't know. I think we expected something different. I think we expected like the receivers to like actually like go down the field. We're gonna be throwing like at least slants and like post routes and stuff. And I don't know. We're just throwing mostly screens, and it's kind of ridiculous until the end of the game. But I think that the one thing you're ignoring is like half of the team, dude. Our defense. That was like an absolute victory for the defense, dude. That
No,
our
I
100%.
said that. I
our
mean, I mentioned
yeah,
that.
like
I was like
100%.
saying like we can't play good at the same time. They played amazing yesterday. Or
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. Like I
yesterday.
think it's ridiculous to say chalk this up as an L because this was a massive defensive victory. Our defense crushed it, especially after having so many games in a row. Like we were saying, this is the worst defense like we've seen. We were calling it a red carpet defense. And Brits, you said, I think honestly, you may have predicted the score spot on last week.
I almost
don't know.
did. It was close. It was. I said
Well,
24-21.
Okay, and it was
It was
20, 21,
close.
18.
well,
That was
Yeah.
I'll do you one. I'll do you one better. I said 2017 Birds.
Okay.
So
So
Jesus.
I
yeah, we
was
were
Oh
pretty
wow.
close. Yeah, you did.
So
You
I
you,
was
did say
one
that.
I was 1 point off there, and my gut was that the Eagles were going to win, but that the Panthers should. So I feel like it was
Yeah,
you
yeah
I
guys,
think
yeah
we were
you
actually
guys both
pretty
kind of
spot on with everything we said because we were like all
yeah
thought that in our back of our head, Panthers probably are gonna win this game, but then we just picked the Eagles anyway, and
yeah
then that's what happened. Like the Panthers looked like they're
and,
gonna win the game, they didn't.
and you guys said this defense has to have a bounce back game, and they had a huge bounce back game.
Yeah,
Whole season we're like, oh, they're not going to get 14 turnovers, and then we come up with 2 picks and
three,
like a bunch.
three
three
Three?
picks,
picks.
three
Oh
picks.
yeah, three
Three
picks, three
three
picks.
picks, and
A
and
fumble,
you
I
get a
think.
They won
blocked
from Nelson.
and
Yeah.
then you get a blocked punt for the
hmm
first time in 4 years. I literally said when I saw that play,
Wow, has it been that
we
long?
we this never happened. Like we never get this. And
No,
two
we really
seconds
don't.
later they 2 seconds later they said on the screen, haven't had this in 4 years. So
Did we have
um
something funky with like a field goal too? Do we have a blocked field goal?
we didn't. No, they tried
There
a
might have
funky
been a
play.
tip or something. Oh no, yeah, they had that weird field goal punt thing.
It was really a punt. It was a punt all along, but they tried to fake it out.
Oh,
type
that's
of
what
thing.
that was. I was
Yeah.
wondering what the heck was going on there. I did.
Um,
I just want to sum it up by saying, I think yes, maybe the play calling, like the coaches are new, and either they're going to get better or they're not. And at that point, we're going to either have to move on or keep with them if they get better. But from like a team building perspective, we're in a rebuilding season, and you have to like the players that we're seeing. We've got three first round picks next year. I heard the Dolphins pick that we got could potentially be a top 3 pick this year, like next year. So that's crazy,
it's
Possible.
trending as the 3rd pick right
Which
now.
we did
which
not
is
think about.
ridiculous.
We did not
And
think that was going to be the case at all.
no, and like the young
Yeah.
players that we have are like really good. Like Mylott is doing good. Dillard, we all thought was gonna be a bust. He's doing like way better than we thought. Like our line, even like the
Yeah.
players that like aren't backup. Like we have such depth on our line. It's just I think this is a really good team. If we have to get rid of the coaches, we have to get rid of the coaches. But I think this everything looks good for the future. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm not bringing out the pitchforks yet because I'm the type of person who believes like give the guy
Well-
a year, see how this plays out because you have to do that. You have to give them the time to adjust and gel a little bit.
Well, I was
The
just,
thing is, go ahead, Brits.
I
I
was
know
just
I'm
gonna
making
say,
a
I was
point.
kind of like, I was actually just about to say something about like how it's for Sirianni's first year. I mean, Doug Peterson's first year, everybody called for his head, and then we won the Super Bowl the very next year. So
Yeah.
like, you do have to calm down on that a little bit, I guess. And honestly, I hate the way that Nick Sirianni's calling games, but there's still something in the back of my head that makes me think that it's not him, that he doesn't want to call games like this. I think he's somehow being forced to call games like this because it
Yeah,
doesn't make sense
I
because I know he didn't call plays um in Indy,
in Indianapolis, but you're saying he
but their
went to the run game a lot.
scheme and everything was the complete opposite of what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense to me how they
Yeah,
went to run.
I either I so I don't know. I don't know if it's fair to attack Syria because again, who really is running this team? Who's really calling the plays? I mean, between the run pass like breakdown, you're right. It's fair. Either way, whoever is calling it, it's
No,
it's
I'm not saying
problematic.
it's not him calling it. I think he's just being forced to call the game a certain way, and he's limited.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Are you trying to say that Jeff Lurie is kind of telling him?
Somebody, it's either him or Howie.
Something somebody's meddling a little bit too much.
Well, if it's Howie, then it's Lurie telling Howie to tell him.
Right. I
you
mean,
know?
pretty much. Yeah.
Right. Right. Which let's think about. I mean, when Sirianni was hired and brought in, we can all probably believe that, it was a Lori Howie just being like coming in and saying like, will you let it, in your
Will you do what we
coaching
say?
style, will you just listen to what we do? And of course he's going to say yes. It's his first
Yeah.
head
Exactly.
coaching job. He's
Which
going
is
to take
sad.
that opportunity. Just sad. Which is why I believe Doug left. He couldn't handle that, and he's like, screw this, I'm out of town. But what I mean, you're right, Jackson. There's a lot of pluses that come out of this game. I mean, Dillard looked amazing. Mailata looked great, even moving on the right side. I mean, he had a couple back-to-back let-up sacks to Hassan Reddick, and I can kind of get into why that happened. But the thing I'm worried is this play calling and just the decision making. That's the thing that because I agree with you. I think we look to this Thursday and we can say, it's probably a loss, and these are the games that you can at least battle against the Tom Brady if you're a good team. Which the Cowboys did earlier this season, but it's the decision making that's going to stick with us. This is the year you find out, is Sirianni a franchise type of coach? Is Jalen a franchise type of quarterback? With the decision making, it's okay, across the board, there's 6 screens that we've called this entire game, and Brits actually called how many yards it's netted out to, but negative 2 yards amongst those 6 screens across the entire game. So you had 3 in the first quarter, 2 in the second quarter, and then 1 towards the end of the third. And it's not even the problem that you're calling those screens; it's the situations that Sirianni is calling those. I mean, first and goal, first quarter, we're from the 10-yard line. It's a bubble screen to Quez Watkins. Negative 6 yards on that play. They plan to have Quez cut in because I guess it looked like the middle looked pretty open with no linebackers. But all these different screens that are called, it's basically like the design is to just kick receivers out to the outside, and you have, guys like Smith and, Rieger blocking one-on-one, and then you have, a third guy coming. So it's like almost like a 3-2 battle every single time. So it's not setting up these guys to, because I get, there were screens to Quez, there were screens to Gainwell, and screens to Smith and Sanders. So all guys that if they're in open space, they can break out for something. You're still netting -2 yards because you're not setting up in a way that you can get your linemen, your
Well,
guys who can actually block
yeah,
out in front
exactly.
of them.
I mean, having Devontae Smith and Jalen Rager your lead blockers is
It's
probably the worst
problematic.
situation you could possibly have. I mean,
Yeah.
out of like people, out of
Yeah.
bigger or like how many bigger wide receivers there are in this league, we got some of the smallest guys in the league, like to have or give lead blocks on a screenplay. So I mean, we got to be better at maybe motioning out like Jason Kelsey like or somebody out there that can get a big block in front.
I think my problem with the screens is like typically I don't mind screens, you know what I mean? But I think that
We've never been able
we're
to
just
execute them
using
well though. We never
yeah,
have.
we're using them too much, you know. I think screens should be used sparingly. You have to kind of surprise the defense with the screen. I think like
Yeah.
they'll have to if they be blitzing
Yeah.
and it has to be kind of a surprise.
I don't
And
really like them
also
on first down either. I think it's the
why
worst time to call it.
you should probably not be running screens over and over again in the red zone. You have to try and get like actually into the
Yeah.
red zone, especially because the field's
It's
so
so
shrunk.
tight.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's just a lot tougher to run a screen in that situation. It doesn't make sense. And then also it's
Yeah.
annoying to run a screen on a third down, like a third and long. That just feels like you're
Yeah.
giving up on the drive.
That happened in
I
our first drive of the game, I think. It was like we
yeah,
ran a screen like 3rd and 15 or something. Like what?
it's just that's a give up play,
Did we
and
just
it's
try to give up
bullshit.
5? We just try to get 5
Well,
yards there
yeah.
and punt the ball? Like what was our plan?
So yeah, I mean, first quarter, 2nd and 10, screen right to Sanders for -7 yards. It was 3rd and 17 at that point. It wasn't necessarily a screen on the next play, but it was just a dumb pass left to Sanders again. So it's like
It's a give
these
up play.
play calls. Listen, I mean, by design, the screenplay is going sideways. It's not pushing you forward at all. It should be a rare play. It shouldn't be heavily, mixed into your offense. It should be maybe 1 to 2 a game where it's like we really need a momentum, builder. We need a game well just to drive it 20 yards because they're meant to be like 20-yard plays.
Yeah,
Maybe running around 40 yards to get the 20 yards. But we've netted -2 across 6. You would want at least like 10. I mean, the best play that we got, the most yardage was 5 yards from Smith, and that's only because he was going 1-on-1 against the guy who was trying to tackle him.
I also
It's just bad design going back to back. And
I
then
will.
and
I
then
think
he
Gainwell
called
does
he
utilize the screen well, but I think him and Watkins are the only two that do.
I think so, but he called 2 screenplays on the same, not even just the same series, the same 4-down set of plays. So it's just like it's just like a lack of creativity on that series, on those different series that it's like, how much can I trust Sirianni to scheme something up, you know,
Maybe just gonna
in,
say
in the
screen.
in the middle of the game?
It's just strange to me because I do think we do see a complete like evolution of the offense in the fourth quarter where they're not throwing really any screens. They're just tossing down the field and it's working and they're driving. It's just I don't understand why they can't do that all game long. I do think though, not to get off the screens, but I think that it's one encouraging thing with the offense is that I think clearly the biggest problem so far has been the penalties.
Yeah.
Like if we weren't getting penalized so much, if we weren't getting penalized at the highest
that
clip
just
in
comes
the
down to
league, it
coaching
was like
again.
a normal clip. Yeah, is it new coaching? Like are they just getting like settled, or
Yeah.
is it just like they're bad coaches? We don't know. But I mean, if you fix that, I do think we have a winning record and we're not freaking out as much.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
we gotta stop the penalties and we gotta stop the fact that we're just
I want to
uncreatively trying screens and not running the ball, basically.
I want to move away a little bit from the like we were like I mean I feel like we talked about this a lot with the coaching and decision making. I think we do have to talk about though a little bit of like the actual like player decisions that are being made because like I mean
Okay.
what the hell was Miles Sanders doing at the end of that game? He ran out of
Sound like a dumb
bounds twice when we were trying to kill the clock.
Yeah.
Did you
I mean,
see that?
that's situational play that you have to
But he did
you
it
have to know very
twice in a
attentive.
row, and you know
Yeah.
they after the first time they were like, "You gotta be in
Yeah,
downs," like,
it,
and they took him
Yeah.
out. They took him out, and then
He took yeah.
Gamewell went right in, got 10 yards, and then stayed in bounds, and then we won the game.
it's not even like it was a bad play call because like the box was stacked. You have to run to the outside, and then it's just stupid
Just
to
go
not
down,
get
dude.
tackled in bounds. Like even if
Yeah.
you're not getting a first down, just don't get stopped out of bounds. You know that. That's like rule number one of running at the end of the game.
There was that play, and there was also just so many times where it seems like Jalen was. I don't know if he was like. I mean, maybe he did go through his progressions, but there was so many times where it looked like he looked at this first guy and then just dumped the ball off to the running back.
Yeah. I do wonder with Jalen how much of this is him like going to the easy throw when he doesn't find his first guy.
Sometimes I think
And
it's
then
more
he
than
yeah.
more than just the coaching saying like calling a bad play. I think it is Jalen. But then again, maybe this has just got guys open. Who knows? Like it's hard to see the
There's
whole
just
field.
there's
It's hard
just
if we had that all 22 look, it'd be great, but we don't have that.
if you had that Madden look.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of question marks. Is it the receivers not getting open? Is it the coaches not scheming the plays to get these receivers open for Jalen to find his progressions? I mean, I honestly just don't know what it is. One thing I will say, I feel like Jalen does have all the time in the world
He's
for
got a lot of time back
a
there.
lot of the time. So it's
And
either
if he
he's
doesn't
either
have
dumping
time,
it.
he's scrambling like a wizard. He's a wizard back there scrambling.
Yeah.
Well, he's either dumping it, running it, or if you guys noticed, he boots out and then just throws it to the sideline a lot, which I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if I
Better
like
than
that because it's a
it's
safe
better
thing to
than
do,
and
or if he
like
can
you just
actually
try and
make a
force
play.
it in.
Yeah. It's
Like,
better than
at least he's
forcing
not
it.
playing hero ball yet.
It's 100% better
Yeah,
than forcing it. I mean,
yeah,
he's doing okay for his. I mean, it's basically his rookie year. Let's be real.
Yeah, like
It's like his
yeah.
ninth game or something, whatever it is, ninth game I think. And
compared to like all the rookies, he's like the best
no,
one
he looks
right
no.
now.
I have all faith in Jalen that he's a smart player and a smart person. So I don't think he's gonna do anything really stupid. But some of his deep balls, dude, I don't
His
know if
deep balls have been
I mean they're
questionable.
just either completely inaccurate or just like he's just hauling it up there and hoping something happens. I don't know what's
Some
like.
of them are bad.
Yeah,
That's
like
what it looks. That's what it looks like. Even the Quez Watkins throw, like it was a pretty good throw, but it looked like he's like, I hope it gets
s-
there.
sometimes I think I mean sometimes I think that it's miscommunication, but also like it looks like sometimes he struggles to get the ball deep like out of like a pure strength perspective. And then there was that one play where he literally threw the ball like 65 yards. I'm like,
Way too far, right?
well, no, well, I mean, it was like
Well, for
it was a
Quez,
Hail Mary. I'm pretty sure it was like a free play. I
yeah,
think we had a free play. So he
There's
just
the one
launched
where
it.
Ertz was running though, and he just launched it way past him. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh
no,
shit.
I think that's what it was. It was like,
yeah.
but he basically was a free play, so he just freaking stepped into it and laid it down 65 yards. And I'm like, okay, so if you can get the ball downfield 60 yards, why are you struggling? Why are you throwing balls 5 yards short sometimes then? Like on 50
You know,
yard plays, 40-yard plays. Like it doesn't make
I
any
will say,
sense.
Yeah.
I will say, for me, I feel like he's completed that pass to me at like a rate that I find like at least acceptable. Because I remember times last year where
Yeah.
it's like Wentz
Yep.
overthrew underthrew every single one of those balls,
Overthrew.
especially like I think he threw to Aguilar. I'm sure Aguilar got some, but I feel like I remember him throwing to Aguilar, probably not last year, but the year before, I guess, like fucking 15 times
Yeah.
deep and didn't hit like a single one of them.
Definitely more so underthrew. He underthrew people so much.
Every
It
single
was
time. They'd have
Yeah.
to sit. They'd have to like slow up, and then it would just be a disaster.
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, Jalen's not doing as much as Wentz was, but he does do it. It's like
But
it's
how
still
about
it's still it seems to be like an issue of like the same thing we were dealing with last
even
year.
worse though? How about when Carson gets the yips and can't even make a 5-yard pass because
Yeah.
he just like he like gets in his head. He's like,
Carson's playing right now. I'm pretty sure they're winning, by the way.
No, no. Actually, I just heard that he just had a very costly fumble.
Oh, that's good because I have the great Ravens defense. So
yeah, I picked up the Ravens defense in my other league just specifically because of Carson Wentz. So
I think that's why
You know
I
he's
think
gonna
that's
miss.
exactly what I did too.
honestly, yeah.
Put pressure
So
on him to
yeah,
crack.
some fan you are, Brett.
They are winning the game though.
Which is shocking. But with Jalen, so the kind of the big note I have with Jalen is like I'm not worried. I'm kind of like neutral right now. Like he makes safe plays. He's not kind of everything you guys just said. Not hitting the open field like downfield looks. Has time all day, which again is kind of like the saving grace. We didn't have Lane Johnson and we have Sayamalo who's out. So with
And Brooks
Dillard
is out too, right?
Dillard looking great.
Brooks is
Brooks
out
yeah
too.
out as well. So
Lane's got a personal
different.
issue. It's not an injury. That's the thing.
I'm telling you right now, I think he's going to be done. I don't know what personal issue he's going through, but Sirianni did say earlier today, hopefully we'll get him back this year. Which if
Oh,
you know
wow.
if he mentions this year, kind
Wait,
of
kill
like
somebody?
Freaking no.
That's not good, dude. Back this year. That can't be like a
hey
family member
coach,
dying or something. That wouldn't be
hey,
you're out the whole year.
hey coach, killed a guy. I think I'm gonna take this year off.
Sounds like trouble with the law or something. Am I wrong?
It sounds
Not. I
like
mean, Lane Johnson
my
is not that kind of guy. I
my
mean,
most immediate thoughts were just yeah, family member passing away, kind of really messes with your head type of thing. Obviously, kind of down and out. But then maybe this is kind of like a considering retirement. Nick
he
Foles, like
has
when he
had
He,
he has had
injury
bad
history.
struggles with his ankle and his feet, like his
yeah,
legs,
but
lower
at
legs.
the
I
same
don't
time,
think.
it's not injury related. If it's not
I kn-
injury related, then he's healthy, so he wouldn't
Yeah,
retire.
are we
but I
sure
mean,
though? Because like
I mean, there could be a high risk. Maybe talk to doctors or something like that.
It's
he
a
might not
personal
be
issue.
actively.
It's not health related.
I know, but
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying it might not be an active injury. It could be like him worried about like his like long-term health or something like that. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like doctors say, break this one more time, you'll never use this. You'll be limping the rest of your life. I mean,
To me, Lane Johnson just seems like the kind of guy to be like, I'm putting it all on the field until I can't. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
that's
It
what
I
I
sounds like
mean,
the
like
think.
think
same.
about Andrew Luck though, dude.
Yeah,
That's what he did.
That's what Andrew Luck and Lane Johnson don't seem like the same kind of guy.
Andrew Luck was
I,
the exact kind of guy.
well,
He was the guy who never
I
gave up on a
mean,
play, always
didn't
battled, like, and then he got
didn't
hurt
Luck
too many times because of
also
it.
have like concussion slash neck type issues? I mean, difference of kind of injuries,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I don't
I
think
don't know.
I'm not. Well, I guess
I mean,
it's
that's
probably
for
not right to
death.
speculate. I don't know why I said maybe did he kill somebody, but I don't. I
We're
don't
all
know.
Yeah,
speculating.
That's tough
Nobody
for
knows what
me.
the hell's going on. I think someone mentioned something on
doesn't look
Sports Talk Radio
promising.
the other day, and I think I turned off the radio before they got into the Lane Johnson thing. I wish I had listened to what they said. But somebody said something, or they had some information about it. We might have to look that up later.
I don't think anybody can know because we would know about it if somebody did know.
Yeah, I guess
So
so.
I mean,
I think
the bad part is Sirianni says hopes for
Yeah,
this
that
year,
I didn't
which is
know that. That's bad. That's a bad
yeah,
sign.
it's not good.
I think we have to bring up the elephant in the room that nobody's addressing.
What is that?
Miles Sanders, we're not giving him the ball, but when we are, he's not looking that great, and potentially, I think Kenny Gainwell looks better.
I
I don't know if
mean,
you
I
want to
don't
say it, but he
listen.
does.
I have my own thoughts on this. I'll let Brett go first.
I'm not saying that you're not wrong, because like I wouldn't say
You're
that he
wrong.
looks better.
You're wrong.
I'm just, listen. Miles Sanders is
He looks good.
a better. I mean, I can't say he's better because we've only seen a couple games at a game well, so we have no idea what this guy can turn into. But I mean, Miles Sanders is a beast. I don't understand why we don't use him correctly, and we haven't figured out how to use him correctly. And it's been 3 years now. It's ridiculous. Like,
I mean, we're not using him correctly, but at the same time, the way we're running our offense, we're like we want to pass the ball to like a passing. I feel like we need like
yeah, but
a
he's a
passing down back
great
almost every
running
time.
back.
And
Like,
Gainwell looks like Alvin Kamara sometimes.
but Miles Sanders is a great rusher. He can run the ball, and we don't let him run the ball. Like,
Listen,
like he's a great player that can go in between the tackles, like bounce to the outside. He's like a Saquon Barkley. He plays the same exact way. And he's not as big as him, but like he plays the same exact way when he's
listen.
running the ball.
Yeah, I
Pri-
agree. He's like a Saquon Barkley sort
Yeah.
of back.
prime example of Sirianni holding a guy back, and that's why I disagree with you on that, Jackson. Just run the I formation. That is it. Go
Good.
simple. Back in the day, I formation Sanders, you will get 5 to 6 yards. I mean, he
I
went 11 for 45, 4.1, average. Not crazy, but like if you give him the ball only 11 times a game, and he's only going to get 50 yards. If you give him the ball 20 times a game, he's going to get at least 70 to 100 yards. I guarantee it. I mean, you have to use him the right way. You can't do these plays where it's just a handoff. He gets no momentum and he crashes right into the line right away. It's not the type of run you need to do. I'm sick of that play where he gets 2 yards, where Jalen just, hey, here you go.
Yeah.
I formation.
okay.
That's it. Plain and simple.
I will
That's
say
all I
though,
want.
I think that it might come to a point though where we just have to accept that we aren't an I
Gainwell's
formation
great though.
team, and Gainwell might be better for offense. I think that if
If we
we
don't
really have
try
set up
to
our
do it.
offense to not be an I formation team, that I don't know if Sanders is the right man on the field at like all times.
But
I'm
I
not,
thought we were a team playing to our player strengths,
We are
not.
supposed to be. That's what he said.
yeah,
But we're
I
not.
mean, we
that's
We're
haven't
not
done no
doing
I
that.
that
formation
got
to
me
play
all
to his
hyped when he
strength.
said that too, and because I love that mentality out of coaches, and he's just not doing it.
Yeah.
I guess
I,
maybe it's tough to
I
play to
mean,
everybody's strength.
I
I don't
think
know if that's
I
the
was
situation.
talking to somebody on during the game Sunday. We were watching all the games. And I was just like, man, it really seems like the best teams, or at least like the above average teams, always get the ball to their best players. They
Always.
don't give a shit what like how many times they throw it to him or how
Throw
many
it.
times they give it. Like Devontae Adams, dude, we'll throw it to you 20 times because we know you're gonna catch the ball like 80% of the time. Tyreek Hill gets the ball a billion times. Like all these
Travis
players,
Kelsey.
even teams that are like, I mean, they're good, looking pretty good now.
Derrick Henry.
Well, yeah, there you go, Derrick Henry. But the Bengals,
He had to throw 35 times a
I'm
game.
mostly talking about the wide receivers. But like, yeah, I mean that too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the Bengals looked like a horrible team the last 10 years or however long it's been. They finally get a guy in Jamar Chase, and they got a couple of weapons too. But they just throw the ball to Jamar Chase. Like, hey, he's down. Like, it's like the Tyreek Hill thing. Fuck it, he's down there somewhere. Like, I'm gonna throw the ball to Jamar Chase 50 yards down the field. He's gonna get open in space, and
Yeah.
he's gonna make a play. And he get. I mean, this guy has been like Quez Watkins is a prime example. I don't know why we don't just like make this guy stretch the field. Like,
Guys
like,
are talented.
No idea.
dude, if we don't you don't even have to throw it to him that much because I know he's not like a upper echelon player, at least yet. But he has the speed to like make
Yeah.
defenses like have to worry about him.
Yeah, at this point, we should be utilizing him more, right? Let's be honest.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
he looks like. I mean, no, Devontae Smith looks really good. So I mean, obviously he's our best wide receiver, but like
What's going on with
even him,
Baker?
get him the ball more, dude. Like
so who do you guys think is the best weapon? Because I'm gonna say right now, considering Devontae Smith is a rookie, Sanders is the best weapon in my mind.
no, I think Devontae
Like,
Smith is
I
the
think
best.
the way our team's developing right now. I mean, Jalen Hurts is the best weapon, but I
Well, yeah.
think Devontae Smith is number 2 because he's just throwing the ball the most. He's consistent at this point.
Devontae Smith is a beast, and he will be a beast for the rest of his career. Like
Yeah.
No,
I
I
think
agree with that.
Like
No,
I think
I think
Sanders
he is
can
just
be really
unbelievable
good.
at getting open and also being able to make contested catches.
It's just unfortunate we're not using Sanders correctly, and I
going
don't know
both
if they're
ways.
gonna fix that.
I
The
think it's
Sanders
sad
thing
to
is a
have
mystery at this point, dude. I don't get it.
it's sad to have a potential 1,200-yard rusher and for him probably to get like 700 yards just because we don't give him the ball. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like, you can't win football games. I mean, I guess we did, but
Hi-
like
His yard per
because of the defense.
his yards per carry and yards per like catch are like pretty much always
4 to 5,
well yeah,
honestly.
like I'm talking about like upper tier in
Oh yeah.
running backs, you know?
Yeah.
But he just doesn't get the yards over the usage,
Yep.
like per game wise.
Listen. But yeah, no, so I mean, while we're on it, I mean, the line again looks great. Dillard, Mailata looks okay on the right side. It's a great sign. I mean, both of them had a couple back-to-back sacks where Son Reddick just cut along the outside. It looks like, um, the footwork they can improve a little bit and just kind of jumping out and kind of getting that head start, a little bit better. But offensive line looks really great. Looks like we had the depth that we thought we had. I guess on both sides too. I mean, the 3 sacks that we had on defense were on 4-man rushes. Some
Yeah.
other defensive highlights, obviously, 2 big plays by Slay.
Yeah, we
And
failed to
then
mention that for some
had,
reason.
had Nelson at the end. Great play, great first pick, great second pick, and jumping the route.
The guys we
Yeah, I mean,
signed are finally stepping up on defense, you know?
Hey, you know what? We
yeah,
had said T.J. Edwards looked good. He ended up blocking the punt, and I feel
yeah.
like Jannard Avery. I don't know if I'm the only one who thought it. Jannard Avery actually looked like a decent linebacker.
He had
He had
He had
a
one
good
re-
game. He had a good game.
he had one really good play. I'm not sold on him. He had other bad plays.
They're gonna be
L-
bad regardless. The linebacker.
Listen,
There's just
listen.
something to call
I give this win to the execution of the defense. Like
The
the
defense won
players
the game for sure.
themselves. You still had guys because of the scheme where Singleton backs up 20 yards when the play starts. You had guys
He's
like
terrible in cover. Just
you
Yeah,
guys
disgusting.
somehow I want to give the entire defense as a whole an A, and Singleton's still an F. I feel like he
I-
was
you
he was
you
horrible.
you have guys by the name of Tommy Tremble getting touchdowns in their rookie season.
When Tommy
Just
Tremble scores, you know it's bad.
being open in the middle of the
Tommy
field.
Tremble,
But
no.
defense let up 6 points in the last 3 quarters. That's amazing. You can't ask for more. So it's
No.
like huge. Yeah, you come out of this game. You just said it earlier, Jackson. Like big win for the defense. But at the end of the day, it's like
Offense
you
needs to work.
look towards Thursday and you're like
Yeah, I wanted to
Tom
get
Brady.
into that. How like what
Tom Brady can just go to Gronk all day. So let's get into it a little bit.
I mean with
Is McLeod gonna be on
one
Gronk all day?
one thing I did see is that Tom Brady has a finger
Broken
injury
thumb.
or something
He
like
does.
that. He has a finger injury. It will probably be fixed by Thursday because he's a superhuman being and injects stem cells. But
He's a super soldier before
Spread.
super soldiers were created.
but
Okay,
you know, I mean, it's something to look forward to, I guess, that he's not 100%, I guess. But then
doesn't
again,
matter.
apparently he won the Super Bowl on a torn MCL last year, so the guy's a superhuman being. It looks, I feel like it's gonna be a problematic game just because their offense is probably nearly just as good as the Chiefs, and their defense is like 1,000 times better, and we lost to the Chiefs. So
Yeah,
It's
we
a
haven't
loss.
played good
It's a
against
loss.
good
Loss.
defenses yet.
no, not really.
No.
Except for San Francisco, we barely put up 10 points. So
I mean, the Panthers are a good defense. They're a pretty good defense. They got some guys on that team.
no, they are. They're above
But,
average.
I think what we've seen from our defense makes it seem like we play the Falcons, we play the 49ers, and we play the Panthers. None of them have bad offense, but they all have like decent offenses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like
Yeah.
none of them scored that many points on us. I think none of them more than 20. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I think we played great against them. But then the
Yeah.
Chiefs and the Cowboys scored like over 40 points against us.
There's a trend there.
Well, they're
Yeah.
really good offenses, so
They're really good offense, and I'm leaning towards the Buccaneers being more likely similar to the Chiefs and the Cowboys. I feel like even
oh,
better
obviously,
maybe.
yeah. I mean,
And so we're gonna
Yeah.
let them
Mike
at least
Evans,
30
Chris
points at least
Godwin,
here.
Gronk,
I
Leonard
don't know if the
Fournette,
addition of
Antonio
Jones
Rojo.
helps that.
Antonio Brown looks like he's literally back in Steelers form, which is
Yeah,
scary.
he's
Yeah.
back being like the best NFL receiver in the past 30 years or something.
Yeah, it's like
It's like
So I'd say 40 to 30, with that 30 point being like comeback points like the Chiefs.
40 to
okay,
30.
so we're gonna win by 10.
What do you think?
I'm hoping. I don't know, dude. I'm only allowing one more loss in my prediction of 13-4. So
Yeah, and we play. Well, it looks like the Raiders might be frauds, so we might steal that game.
They
But
they might actually be frauds.
the
the
Bucks though,
yeah.
I mean, it's got. I think I gotta predict this as a loss because
I'm telling you, it's got trap game written all over it for the
think?
Bucks. Yeah, I think
No. I
it's
said that
just
about.
we're weak.
I
We're young.
said
We're
that.
ready to go.
I said that with
you don't think
Their
Brady's
secondary's
gonna
beat
pick
up.
apart our linebackers, dude.
I
He's gonna
said
look at
I
back.
s-
He's gonna look at our depth chart, look at our linebackers, and be like, "Who the hell are these guys?" I'm gonna throw into them all day. Like
in the
that's
beginning of the year, I always say there's a trap game. Just for the hell of it, I said that for the Chiefs. There's no way I say that for this one. The Buccaneers are the better team. I mean, when Dak Prescott and Dalton Schultz pick apart your defense and Singleton, there's no way that Tom Brady doesn't. So I
yeah.
mean,
I mean,
I can't.
also you have to legitimately look at the fact that. I mean, I know it's kind of ridiculous, but the Chiefs are 2-3 somehow, and
Yeah.
so they're not
Yeah.
obviously they're not as good as the Bucks right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how the Chiefs are 2-3. It's crazy. I mean, they have
It's
lost to really good teams, obviously, like the Bills and the Ravens,
Bills,
and the Chargers.
Ravens, Chargers, all high-powered
Yeah,
offenses against that terrible Chiefs defense.
horrible defense. So I'm thinking that we probably are gonna get blown out. It's probably gonna be like 30, like 35 to like maybe
Yeah,
14, maybe.
I can't
Honest-
even say it's a trap game.
Honestly, you guys, negative Nellies, dude.
I
guys
predicted
thought-
a win last week, and
Come on,
and nobody
come
thought we were
on,
gonna win
dude.
that game.
Last week he said,
We-
I think we're gonna lose, but I'm still gonna project a win. Now you guys think we're gonna lose, and we're not
Negative
even
Nellies.
gonna project a win. I thought we were gonna lose last week, and I
We
projected
gotta
a loss
we gotta
because I
be
thought we were gonna
we
win
have to be honest though.
because I projected a loss.
We have to be honest though. We're journalists. We have to protect
I'm
our
being honest.
integrity.
I'm projecting a miracle. We win
Listen.
28-24.
So you're saying it is a miracle if we win.
Don't read much into that, okay?
Our brand is to be real, okay? All right, we got to be realists here.
Saying
I think it can
35-14.
What worries
But
me?
you know, if we win, I'm gonna streak down the street probably.
Oh yeah, I'll do it with you. I mean, my God, if we win, I'm back on the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl's
train.
right, yeah. It's gotta be.
Problem is, I know we look at the Eagles schedule and we say, hey, we can maybe take them. We can take them. It's an easier schedule on the back end. Problem is, I also look at the Dallas schedule. There's a chance they can go 14-3, 13-4. I'd say
I
11,
I think
11-6 at the very least.
I think they're going to the NFC Championship game.
I mean, they
I think
look
they're
good.
gonna play the Packers in the NFC Championship game.
We
Actually,
saw it against
no. What am I
Wildcard.
saying? What am I saying? The Rams, dude. Rams. I don't know.
Rams.
And the Cardinals. I don't know, man. There's a lot of good teams in the NFC.
I look at their
You guys are
schedule. I see
sleeping right now.
Patriots, Vikings, Broncos, Chiefs, Falcons, Raiders, Saints, Giants, and Washington. So I see the Cardinals and the Chiefs beating them, and that's it. But the Chiefs look bad. I mean, Cowboys can win that game.
They
I mean,
definitely can.
Cowboys can come out. They can come out of this 13-4, 14-3.
I hate that we're guessing at the Cowboys right now.
You guys are sleeping right now. We've lost to the Cowboys, we lost to the 49ers, and we lost to the Chiefs. 3 of potentially the best teams in the NFL right now. I think, and we beat the Panthers, who are like everybody's projecting to be like a really good team. You know what I mean?
Niners aren't that good. Panthers
Niners could be good.
Panthers are
Niners-
frauds.
Yeah,
Panthers beat 3 bad teams. That's why they were 3-1.
yeah.
I think you guys are. I think you guys are gassing it up. I really, honestly.
I
think
mean,
that
I'm not saying that we can't steal games down the line, but I'm getting to the point that like we're not going to win the division. So
Jackson, can you definitively say this is a 13-4 like team? Even if we don't go 13-4, can you say that?
No, probably not. But
Yeah.
I've
So
got
what are you
develop into a
failing?
13-4 team.
Yeah, okay, that's development for the future. But what are we this year? What is the feel of this team right now? We are average. We are middle of the
I
pack.
think we're above average. I honestly do think we're above average. I think you take away the penalties, we have a winning record, and you guys are singing a different tune right now.
I think
I think you can take away the penalties.
the coaching staff and the penalties. If we get rid of that, and if the coaching lifts this team up, I think we can go to 10-7. But we are not there yet. We are rookie everything.
No, we're not there yet. That's the thing. We don't look like that above. We don't look like an above average team right now. I think we have potential to be one because I think the roster is filled with like young talent that needs to be developed a little bit more, and it looks like it is actually getting developed a lot better than it was the last couple of years. But I mean, dude, those penalties. We have I think it was 60 penalties this year, and it's like 15 more than like the second highest penalized team. That's ridiculous.
I got one word for you guys. Believe.
I always believe, man. I watch every game, and I think we're gonna win. But
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys are calling us underdogs.
once it gets to the point where we
Listen.
throw an interception or someone fumbles a ball or like we get 6 penalties in a row, then it starts going downhill.
That's when you toss that underdog mask on and you start marking, dude.
We're definitely gonna be underdogs next week. I'll tell you that.
Let's end on one thought. Say the Eagles go 9-8. Jalen has a mediocre year. We have 3 top picks, so like maybe 2 picks in the top 10 and maybe like a top 14, 15 pick. Are we getting a new quarterback?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
I think right now Jalen Hurts' job is not in jeopardy at all as of now.
He's playing very well, I think, for the situation he's in.
I think he's playing good.
Do you use those 3 picks?
Yeah, I think you use all 3 picks on depth, right?
Yeah, I would as of now I'm leaning towards just using all 3 picks.
Best player available
instead of trading them.
Especially if one of them's top 3. What do you want top number 3? Well, who cares? Like, I'd rather take number 3 and then like 2 picks like later in the first round than number 1. You know what I mean?
Also, the quarterback class this year is horrible in college. It's terrible.
Yeah, let's get the best defensive player on the board and like maybe like a lineman, maybe something else. You know what I mean?
So let's say there's good quarterbacks in this draft, and we're assuming the top 3 worst teams are going to get a quarterback. I probably trade back. Let's see if I can trade back to like the 7th spot, still get the best available whatever defensive guy, and then get that first round pick next year. Because you got to build some kind of backup plan if Jalen doesn't work out. If you go,
we don't have to look at that right now though. He's still in his rookie contract.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I was like
3 first-round picks is a lot of firepower just to put all towards one draft. I feel like I don't think you ever see teams doing that.
Yeah, like I could see us doing something like trade back from 3 to like 5 and get like another pick this year and another pick next year, like in the first round.
I feel like you have to.
Like if we're in
Yeah.
rebuilding mode, yeah, that makes sense. But like, I do want 3 first-round picks next year. I want to start building up the, like the actual team. I think because we have to work with his rookie contract, we can't like push back our like window that far because I think we want to win during his rookie contract. The reason I thought that we should get like Fields or something last year was because to me, Hurts hadn't proven that like he was 100% like a franchise quarterback, and I know he's not 100% proven yet, but like I like what I've seen, and I'm nowhere
Enough.
near like getting scared or thinking that we need to like get a
I-
new quarterback.
I have a
So
question.
here's-
I have a question for you, Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who looks
Go ahead.
better this year so far, Justin Fields or Jalen Hurts?
I don't know. I haven't actually seen any Justin Fields games, but I think
Oh, wow, okay.
it doesn't look bad. Like I think the Cowboys are just really bad, aren't they? Didn't he get sacked like 10 times in one game?
You mean the
Cowboys?
Bears?
I mean, no, I'm sorry, the Bears, Chicago Bears.
Yeah, he got sacked 9 times.
Yeah, like I think that no
Yeah.
matter.
But they're 3-2.
Yeah, but no matter who's behind there, like they're not gonna put up good stats if you're getting sacked 9 times a game.
Yeah, I
that's
know. That's fair.
atrocious.
That's fair.
I mean,
Like,
I
you
think
can't touch him.
I think he won the last game, right? I mean,
If they're 3-2 and he's
So-
getting sacked 9 times a game, he can't be that bad.
yeah.
He hasn't
And
looked
plus
great
he's,
though. He
He's
hasn't
a
looked great.
rookie. He is a rookie.
I got-
All the rookie quarterbacks this year are like struggling.
I can also see Justin Fields having like a meh year, and then also like going all out next year.
I mean, Darnold had like 4 May years, and now he's kind of going off for Panthers. You know what I mean?
Well, kind of
It-
attribute that a lot to probably the Jets, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying just like the situation can make somebody look bad.
No, that's 100% true.
it's fair.
Nobody can succeed on the Jets. They're the worst.
That's
Honestly,
fair.
that's what like. Why would we even draft a quarterback in the first round and like do like a potential like?
There's not a
If-
single
if
quarterback
Jalen
in this
Hurts-
in this
if-
class as
well,
good
I'm
as
saying- I'm
Jalen
just saying-
Hurts.
Why would we do that if in 3 years we can just trade for Zach Wilson off of the Jets whenever they think he stinks, and then he'll just come over and be like a starting quarterback for us?
Yeah,
I guess we
I
could do
mean-
that. That's true.
fair
A
enough.
Jets draft that's actually good.
Because we've talked about this before. Like, what's the point where you move on and say like, okay, he's definitely not the guy. Like, he's been top 15 or top 20, and I have to move away. Like Daniel Jones, you definitely move on from him now, right?
I think so. I think for
Yeah,
me,
I
it's
mean-
got to be
You
At
definitely move on.
at least when you start feeling the way we did last year. Once you start feeling hopeless when he's on the field, that's when you got 100%.
Daniel
Bucks
Jones has
fans-
had like a little bit of resurgence the last 2 games. He's looking like a little bit better, but like, I mean, now he just got a concussion, which is tough.
I wouldn't move on from Daniel Jones yet. I don't know. He's shown a
I-
little bit.
I'd totally move on.
That team is also in shambles. Like,
The Giants are similar to the Jets.
no, I'm talking about injury. Like, they have lost all 3 of their top receivers. They lost Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, Kenny Galladay, and Saquon Barkley. All are
Tell me
hurt.
about it.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
That looks like
And-
us. Like
and-
that was like us like 2 years ago when we were all
and-
hurt.
Not to mention Daniel Jones. So
And Daniel
Mike
Jones
Lennon
now, yeah.
leading the pack.
You don't want anybody. Mike Glenn's the worst. He's such a schleeb or like a
He
geek,
looks like
you know?
a janitor out there, dude.
Yeah,
He just has a weirdly skinny neck. He looks kind of like a snake. I feel
Looks like he's a
There's
40.
something-
He looks like a 45-year-old like dad that just like walked on the field, put up a uniform.
he's got a guy to retire.
I'm trying to think of another comparison who's always just a middle of the pack guy where it's like, do we move on from him? Do we not? I mean,
Like Sam Bradford.
He was kind of like
mean,
that.
Like
mean,
if he's
you
playing
move-
like Sam Bradford or he's playing
you-
like
you
Mark
move on from
Sanchez
Sam.
when they're on our team,
You
move
move
on
on
immediately.
from Sam Bradford because of injuries. Mark Sanchez sucked. He was terrible.
Kirk
He wasn't even
Cousins.
middle of the pack. Kirk Cousins very middle of the pack.
Yeah. I mean, even though he always puts up sick numbers somehow.
He's always going to make Thielen, a guy like Diggs and
Yeah.
Jefferson always put up big numbers.
I think it
look
was like
good,
through
but
like 4 weeks this year he was the best quarterback in the NFL.
I think you move on from a Kirk Cousins.
He got the
He's just
giant
not-
contract though, so he's chilling.
He's just not a winner.
Nah,
I
he's
don't
not a
I don't know
winner.
what it is about that. Because who was that guy that was there before him who like he's basically out of the league now
Case
and he had
Keenum.
so much
Case
more success.
Keenum.
Yeah, Case Keenum had so much more success with them and he looked
If
potentially better.
if I was the
Well, that
Vikings,
team
I
was
would have
carried by their
stuck with
defense.
Case Keenum. I mean,
He looked good on
he's-
offense though.
he still looked good taking them to the NFC Championship. I
Like
mean,
he-
against us.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I just,
would totally
Then he ran
would've
into
stuck
then he
with
then he
him.
then he ran into the brick wall that was our defense.
Yeah, I mean, nobody can blame us for losing us though. We were amazing.
yeah.
Stonewalled them. All right, boys.
Good
Unless
against
you got anything else, we got Thursday matchup, and then we'll talk about that predicted loss by me next week. But we good to wrap up today?
I think so. We'll get more into Sixer stuff next week, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's-
We'll talk more
let's-
about the
let's
Sixers.
We'll figure out
Cover
what the
it.
heck's going on with this Ben
The
situation.
more it comes in, the more we'll talk about. So
It's too wild
hopefully
right now.
Yeah.
you guys come back with
It's
us.
foggy.
We'll bring Flay back into the mix, and then
Hopefully.
and then we'll, if not, you might get a special guest appearance from some other person. But if not, we're shutting down shop. And Jackson, you can close it down for us today.
This podcast has officially landed. It's been Philly Escape Pod, a sports Jawn.
See you guys. See you next week.
See you guys. See you next time.
See you guys.